Hey everyone, we're on part two of this test review. So go ahead and look through this. Make sure you are actually reading through and not just writing answers. You're actually listening, taking notes, and trying to make sense of this. Okay. If you have any questions, please send me comments. I'd be glad to work with you. Okay. Um, on the first day of camp, the counselor surveyed every 10th camper that got off the bus about their favorite activity. And if there are 550 campers, how many more would rather swim than play? So the first thing I want to do is find out the total and see what the relation is to that. So 25 plus 25 is 50 plus 5, so 55 total voters or votes, and there's 550, so this is a tenth of that. So basically, if I multiply everything by 10, this will give me my estimated or predicative data, right? So then it says how many more would rather swim than play basketball. So that tells me 250 would rather swim versus 150 that would play basketball. The difference is going to be 100 people. Okay? Number 13. Describe the relationship, if any, you see between the weekly hours spent studying and the GPA. Well, it's positive because the more hours you study, the better your GPA. I'm going to draw a trend line kind of like through here, like this. It's not the straightest in the world, but it should get the job done. It should go through the points and be as close to the center as possible, so that's pretty good. There are outliers, as you can see, all over the place. You might say it's nonlinear, but it's linear. The thing is, you can it's really hard to have a zero GPA. So we're going to say that this is positive. That means the more you study, the more your GPA goes up. And we're going to say this is linear association. Okay. All right. We're getting close to being finished. Thank you for sticking with me so long. All right. On number 14, it says the scatter plot shows the box office earnings and critical success of all the movies shown in local theaters. Nora examined the scatter plot and concluded that there was a negative correlation between box office earnings and critical success of movies. So, number of earnings, critics. Okay. She said there's a negative correlation by looking at this graph, but negative would suggest that it's going downhill, whereas they're spread out straight across. Okay. So I would say I don't agree with Nora, and I would say because there is no correlation to this data. And no correlation or no association are the same. Okay, on to the next one. And we're flying through this. Should be done pretty quickly. It says students recorded a total number of pages and chapters in each of the several books on the scatter plot. Based on the scatter plot, what's the best prediction of the total number of pages in the book? 4 chapters. So I go to 4. I follow where I think it should go. That looks about perfect. So that looks like 120. Boom, 120. Okay. They don't always line up that nice, but that one lined up pretty good. Okay. Number 16. It says which set of ordered pairs represents y as a function of x. This question is always confusing to most, but basically this question just says which of these is a function. Remember, with ordered pairs, we're looking for no repeating x's. So -2, 2, -4, 7. Those aren't repeating. 8, 8, 8, 8, cross out. 5, 2, 5, 1. 2 5s, cross out. -2, 2, 5, 5, cross out. So the only option is A. Okay? We have 2 more and then we'll be done. Number 17. It says Paz is panning for gold in a mountain stream. Scatter plot below shows the diameter of and mass for each piece of gold that she has found so far. Find the line of best fit for these data points shown in the plot. It says a piece of gold that is 5.3 millimeters in diameter. What is the best estimate for the mass? So they gave you X. Then they say, what is y? Well, if I go up to 8, I can see that it's 6. So that means if this is proportional, that means y is equal to 0.75x, which is what 6 over 8 reduces to as a decimal. So that means if I put this into the equation, this should be y is equal to 0.75 times 533. And if I multiply that out, it gives me, let's go ahead and look it up in a calculator. 5.33 times 0.75, 3.997, or we could say that's about equal to 4. Okay. Letter B finds another piece of gold that is 4.75 grams in mass. Okay. Which of the following is the best diameter for a piece of gold? So that means 4.75 is equal to 0.75x. Okay, so what we need to do is divide 4.75 by 0.75. 0.75 divided by 0.75, and that gives us 6.33. So divide by 0.75 on both sides. X equals 6.3. Okay, last one, and then we'll finish up. The results of the survey are shown in the table. It says if 400 servings of pie are ordered, how many of them should be apple? Well, there are 50 servings here, which means to get to 400 servings of pie, I have to multiply by 8. So that means I need to do 28 times 8. And that will tell me that will give me 224 servings of pie, or apple pie. We do the same thing for pecan, 7 times 8, and that would give me 56. Okay, so basically, if we can see that there's 400 servings, this should be proportional. So that's how we make this work. So hopefully that was helpful. Please be on the lookout for more content. Thanks, and until next time, have a good day.